Hey everybody, it's Haley with Souris Valley Animal Shelter, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up your fundraising dashboard. It's super simple, but we wanted to do a video tutorial this year because I think some people were discouraged from participating in our Raise-a-Paw fundraiser last year. It's the online peer-to-peer campaign that helps us raise money for our Lend-a-Paw fundraiser festival in the summertime, and we wanted to do a video. We thought it might help encourage people to see how easy it is. You're going to want to go to register now. When you click on register now, it'll give you a couple of options. So you can see here you can just do the event itself. You can do the Raise-a-Paw fundraiser. For now, we're just going to click on 5K run, walk, or roll and adult admission. Here, just to kind of clarify, you don't have to fundraise. If you just want to come to the event, then you would select this box here that says, I don't want to own fundraising goal and page, just want to participate. Otherwise, you automatically get one regardless of how you register. If you're a vendor table, you'll get one. If you're a sponsor, you'll get one. Like, it doesn't really matter. So if you don't want to fundraise, that's where you would click that box. Then you want to go ahead and fill everything out. And then once you're kind of past that point, you would then, I guess I should point out before we move on, you do want to make sure you pay attention to a couple of the fine print things here. It says date of rabies vaccination. You want to make sure you've got proof of that vaccination when you show up at check-in in case you're asked. And then make sure you understand that if you're registering after July 17th, your t-shirt size cannot be guaranteed. So try to get registered as soon as you can. We have to get all of our sizes to our manufacturer quickly. And then you'll want to pay attention to what's in the waiver. So there will be a show more button here down at the bottom. Just make sure you understand all of the things in the waiver before you move on. And then from there, you can add another participant to this. So if you have more than one people coming with you, that's how you would do that. Otherwise, you will hit next. And then you can purchase stuff from our store if you would like. Otherwise, you can hit skip. And then from there, you can still add a donation if you would like to. You can also cover the credit card processing fee so that the donation that you make goes directly to our mission instead of us having to pay that fee. And then you'll notice over to the right, all of the things that are in your cart. So if everything is good and you feel good with it, you would hit complete registration once you've entered your information. Now, I will say, if you're ordering more than one ticket, you're going to want to put in the promo code Lend-a-Paw26, just because that will give you the 20% discount that we have. It's the 20% multi-ticket discount. So if you're registering more than one person, you'll want to make sure that that's in there. And then once you hit that, it will apply the 20% to your cart. From there, you will get a confirmation page, a transaction number, and you should get an email. Once you click on view ticket, it'll show you this, but you'll notice it doesn't really have much detail. So you'll want to make sure once we're in the fundraising dashboard, I can show you how to access the event timeline so you know exactly what time you're supposed to be there and when all the things start. So you can also add to your calendar if you would like to kind of make sure you don't forget about it, or if you want updates or however you keep up with your stuff. And then you can also click on your registration details. You'll get an email with that as well. I think you get like 3 total emails for confirmation. Otherwise, I would maybe, once you click on my fundraising dashboard, I would maybe save that, bookmark that page, because you're going to want to go back and forth from that fundraising dashboard quite a bit to keep track if you're a fundraiser. So we're going to go to my fundraising dashboard. You'll get signed in. You'll notice it says if you've participated in this in years prior, you'll actually have a login already. So you would just use that same login. Otherwise, you would need to create a new password and all of that. But either way, this is what the fundraising dashboard looks like. If you're fundraising for a specific animal, so let's say, for example, you are participating in the Raise-a-Paw fundraiser, for example, which hopefully you are, and you would put the picture of the dog that you're trying to raise money for on behalf of the shelter. And then obviously, if you raise the most money, you would be the winner. But this is where you would put their picture in this top left corner right here. I'm just going to kind of walk you through. It does a really good job of kind of showing you like how to complete your profile and how to get more supporters and all of that, but it shows you your page link. That's what you would want to share on social media. You can also email that information if you would prefer. This is where you can update your fundraising goal if you would like to. It just kind of shows where you're at, what you've raised, and all the things. You can also enter your own cash or checks if somebody gives you something, but you aren't able to drop it off at the shelter, whatever the case may be. You can keep track of that here. What's good about this is that you can see your thermometer and how much you're trying to raise. And as you raise money, that actually makes our bar go up on the main event page. So it's just really nice to have that. So moving on from here, resources is actually really important because this is where you can find all of the information that you need about the event that you just may not know or understand. The timeline is there. The mission of why we do it is there. If you don't really understand the point of it, that's all explained there. As far as what your admission supplies, so what that means is the money that you give us for your admission, what that goes to pay for at the shelter. We wanted you to kind of have a visual on that. And then we also wanted you to get a kind of more of a realistic visual picture of what comes in your runner's kit, because I think it's $15 from your ticket actually goes to cover the cost of your runner's kit. So we wanted to kind of show you what's in it and what you can expect. Then the Raise-a-Paw competition details are there. So this is again for anybody that's fundraising and participating in the competition. Whoever raises the most at the end, their dog becomes a spokes dog the following year and they win a free photo shoot. The meanings of the color powder that we'll be throwing, the colors, the reasons we chose those are there. And then if you are interested in being a sponsor, it gives you the sponsorship information as well. So moving on from there, you can kind of take a look at what your permissions are, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, and then you can manage your information if you want. As far as registration goes, you can take a look at all of that. I did go ahead and pull up the timeline for you just so you can kind of see what it looks like now. I'm pulling this up on a computer. It'll obviously look different on mobile. And then you can also add an additional participant. So if you forgot to add somebody when you got your original ticket, you can add an additional participant here in your fundraising dashboard, which is kind of convenient. Other than that, you can edit your page. So you can actually click the Edit My Page button and you can change. It's kind of limited, but you can sort of change what your page actually looks like. For example, a lot of people like to change their name. So for example, like my dog, right, Moscow, if I wanted to fundraise on his behalf, I would change from Haley Shonik, I would change it to Moscow's fundraising page. I think you actually would click on that in the My Registration section. My Registration is where you can change the first name and last name. So you would just kind of need to manipulate that a little bit for whatever you want the title of your page to be. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We try to make it as simple as possible. So yeah, we appreciate everybody that is going to come out and be at the event in person, or those of you that are just going to do the online fundraiser, but you can do both as you've already seen. If you have questions, definitely shoot me a text or give me a call. My number is 701-818-0289. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you at the event on August 8th in Oak Park. Thanks, everybody.